entering Albuquerque. Descend lower and lower into the valley, we're beginning to enter what they call the war zone. Now, Albuquerque itself has tried to rename this. They've tried to give it a new identity. They call it the International District. But locals all know it as the war zone. It hasn't really been able to shake that identity because it's still got a lot of crime, a lot of gang activity, and a lot of just poverty in general. It's kind of a, if you believe in such things, it's a bit of a spiritual vortex. This is kind of the edge of it. And usually in the mornings it's pretty quiet, but the later in the day it gets, the more chaotic it gets. Last time I was driving through here, I almost hit someone that was wandering into the road in the middle of the night. And there were multiple people kind of on their way to wandering in the middle of the road. There's a lot of decrepit buildings and just kind of general decay, you could call it. All the businesses that are still active pretty much have these wrought iron fences around them, bars on the windows, things like that. My old apartment complex had razor wire all the way around it. I assumed to keep people out. Sometimes it felt like it was to keep us in, but yeah, it had razor wire all the way around the whole apartment complex. And you would frequently hear gunshots in the night. So what's strange to me is they're building all these newer apartment buildings, and they try to call them luxury. I think they're trying to gentrify this area. I don't really believe it's going to work. I think some areas just don't have that in them, and it's not a racial thing. The poverty is of all races here. It is not one race. The gang activity does not belong to one race. It's a multicultural slum, but it is a bit of a slum, or a ghetto, you could call it. Yeah. Pretty much only live here if you're desperate and don't have any other options. Now, I guess a lot of people also, I must clarify, a lot of people, because someone's going to say it in the comments, the actual area that they call the war zone is roughly maybe Eubank to maybe like San Pedro. So, you know, Louisiana and Central is like smack dab in the middle, and coincidentally that is right in the area where I used to live. So yeah, I'm not trying to claim that I am from the ghetto or something when I have never actually lived in the worst part of it, because I did. The area that I lived in is the part that nobody wants to live in. And I think there's actually, some people say that the war zone is another area along Central. Central in general is kind of a mess. Yeah, traffic's always bad, high crime, things like that, you know. But they're trying to gentrify this city. Whoever they are, real estate developers are trying to increase the value of their properties by claiming that, here we go. So this is what most people would actually call like the middle of the war zone. You can see we start seeing razor wire along a lot of the fences. A lot of motels converted into apartments, which I used to live in one of those. And just a general very kind of rough area to live in. Most people kind of avoid traveling through it even. But we got some business we got to take care of here, so I figured I'd take you through. And you can see we've kind of been steadily decreasing elevation. This area tends to get pretty smoggy at times. When the smog is bad in Albuquerque, this is one of the bad areas. And it smells like diesel all the time. I mean, it smells like diesel inside your house. That probably is a contributor to the poverty. I'm gonna shut up now and just let the video go. I guess I'll chime in with one more thing. That's San Pablo, and Central, there's an RV tent city thing on that street consistently. But I don't remember what I was going to say. Never mind.